Suddenly, all the stones lifted into the air, turning into huge flying saucers. They flew straight up, then turned and disappeared into the mist. The students watched, mesmerized, as the professor screamed, "Quick, hide among the stones. Protect your heads." But where were they? One moment they were standing in a ring of stones, and the next they were lying on the ground inside an enormous, perfectly smooth dome. It looked like a giant glass bubble. Above them was a hole through which they could see the sky. But the most incredible thing was that the walls of the dome were lined with those very stones that had been part of the ring. And each rock, monolith, bore the image of a strange creature with a human torso and a bird's head and wings. They looked like gargoyles, but instead of water spouts, they seemed to be directing the flow of cosmic energy. Alina felt dizzy. She slowly stood up and noticed that the others were staring at her in astonishment. "Why are we here? Why did the stones move?" she asked. No one knew the answer. No one spoke for a long time. Suddenly, Professor Gordiyovich snapped out of his stupor. "We need to leave here," he said, grabbing his backpack. "This place doesn't feel right. It's full of evil. There's something else here besides those creatures from the stone statues. Something very nasty." The professor ran to the hole in the dome, but it wasn't there anymore. In its place was a solid wall made of stones. "There's no way out," someone shouted. A deep growl echoed through the dome, and the smell of damp earth and decay filled the air. Out of the corner of her eye, Alina saw a huge shadow pass over her. Startled, she turned around and saw a tall, emaciated old man with sharp claws instead of hands. His eyes glowed red in the dim light. "Who are you? What do you want?" she cried out. The creature bared its yellow teeth in a sinister grin. "I am the guardian of the entrance to hell," it hissed, "and I have been waiting for you for a long time." The creature lunged at Alina, but the professor pushed her aside and took the creature's blow meant for her. The old man knocked the professor to the ground with his sharp claws. The professor lay still. "No, no," Alina cried, rushing to him. The creature blocked her way. "You can save yourself," it sneered, "but your friend is mine. I haven't had a decent meal in centuries." Just then, the other students came running up. "Leave him alone," they shouted, but the creature paid no attention to them. It picked up the professor with its claws and dragged him towards a dark crack in the wall. Alina and the others followed closely behind. The creature stopped at a certain point and turned around. Its face was contorted in a snarl. "Only one of you can pass," it growled. "The rest will share my eternal prison." Alina hesitated. She couldn't leave her friends, but the creature was already lunging at them. She closed her eyes, ready to meet her doom, but it never came. When she opened her eyes, she saw a small silver amulet in her hand. The creature froze, hissing, What is this?" It snarled. Where did it come from? Alina didn't know. All she remembered was that before the stones moved and they all ended up inside the dome. She had been holding the professor's briefcase. Perhaps something had fallen out. The creature let out a roar and lunged at Lena. She flung the amulet toward the creature. It hit the wall and shattered. A blinding white light filled the space. The creature screamed and vanished. The wall collapsed, turning into dust,